Welcome friends. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation and it was introduced in 2000 as a part of JavaScript and gradually expanded to become the most common medium for exchanging text-based data. JSON is a syntax or a format used for storing and exchanging data. JSON is easier to use an alternative to the XML and a lightweight data interchange between server. Today, JSON is a universal standard for data exchange and it is found in every area of programming like front end, back end, database. Why use JSON? JSON format is synthetically similar to the code for creating JavaScript object. Because of this, JavaScript program can easily convert JSON data into JavaScript object. Since the format is text only, JSON data can easily be sent between computers and used by any other programming language like any backend language like PHP, Python or ASP.NET, any backend language. JSON syntax contain multiple JSON syntax is a subset of the JavaScript syntax and it contains multiple conditions like data is in a name value pairs, data is separated by comma, curly brackets hold objects, square brackets hold arrays. Instead of XML, in XML we need to create a hierarchy by their tags. Here we are storing values in a name value pairs followed by the commas and is supposed to be open and close curly bracket and square curly bracket for array values. In JavaScript, key can be string, numbers or identifier names, but in JSON keys must be string and written with a double quotes. For example, like name, as I given a Suryavan, the both values in a double quote. And if we are storing data or reading data from any JSON file, any file, the format of that file is supposed to be a JSON. JSON data type, as we know, JSON is become an intermediator for reading and for transferring data between two server or application. It has some sort of defined data types like string, numbers, object, arrays, boolean, null. Like a string, we can pass value in a double quote as in a title or anything. As a number, the number could be the float, decimal or integer. It don't require any open or close quotation. An object, it can also contain an object like object of object like multiple object like name of like list of employees and their details, and the object contain inside of curly brackets. An array, as we know, it contain the arrays and the arrays data supposed to be inside of a square bracket like the employee's name is given there. A boolean, like also it contains the true or false value like in a specific object or list. We have values. It also contains a null value as assigned, but it does not allow the other kind of parameter like creating a function or having a different date identifier or undefined function, undefined name for any values. The values supposed to be string, number, object, array and boolean and null. Clear? Okay. When receiving data from a web server, the data is always a string. Pass the data with the string need to be passed at the client end. The passing supposed to be done using JSON.pass method, and data become a JavaScript object after passing the data. Data in JSON object can be accessed through dot operator. As an example, I can see that there is a variable string data which contain name, age, city name. So we are passing that string data into JSON format in our JavaScript, and we are reading the specific of columns name values like name from the JSON list. We can also stringify the JSON object. We can do so using JSON.stringifies JSON data. Actually, it is required if when passing a data to the server, web server, we cannot pass the JSON data directly, but we can pass as a string, so that we are doing the stringify. JSON versus XML. JSON is a very simple and lightweight as compared to XML. XML required open and close tags. It contains all the data, and it required whether the values in the tag is present or not, but it need to be present there. The tag need to be present there. But in JSON, we just need to keep data in a specific syntax or format. Nowadays the MongoDB, Firebase, and there is no SQL. These are the technologies using JSON itself for storing data. And now we are going to use the technology we can see in a demo.html as I have created. I can show the examples like I just read the data and converting in a JSON format, like in above. Like above, we are storing a string data. String data is in a quotation, and I also added a comment data received from the server. So I read the data, whatever the data is there, I would print it. Okay, so here is the output. This is the data which received from the server, and it is a string form, and I pass the data using the json.pass method, and same printed here. So the data is in JSON format, name and values, age, city name. Okay, if I suppose to use JSON dot stringify, like var string new string data, and here would be JSON dot stringify, and we are passing emp details. Okay, so I am going to print this data in our variable like new string data. Okay, so let's see whether the JSON data. Okay, there is some errors. Here is it. So now I first of all I received the data from server, so it's in string format. I kept it as hard coded. We just need to use the fetch method over here to fetching the data, and I show the data. I pass the data in the JSON format, and again I show the data, and again I stringify the data in text format. So if you want to fetch data from a database from other, so we can use a fetch method. Like I'm accessing data from this site, JSON API site. It provides dummy data from dummy JSON data, and there are a lot of get and post request methods available here. So I call the fetch. I'm calling the fetch method, and that is the URL from where I'm fetching the data. Response, I'm expecting it's supposed to be JSON response.json format, and whatever the JSON format data I received, and that data is printed in a console form. That's what I written, and if I'll save it, so if let's see what would be the output? We have received 100 plus arrays of data, and each contain details related to that. So overall, JSON is a lightweight passing data from one application to other, from front end to back end, and also for storing data inside of database. So it's a very lightweight, very useful, and we can you nowadays every programming language is supporting JSON. So that's it for today's for JSON session. We'll next. Thank you so much. Bye bye.